Hi all, it's Vera, and I woke up with some important messages. It's so important to release any. Okay, actually, I'm going to state it more positively. It's so important to embrace wholeness of yourself and your counterpart, like always extant wholeness. Maybe it hasn't been allowed to be expressed because of whatever life circumstances each of you have gone through. But there's an assumption of wholeness. There is a wholeness. Wholeness is the reality. Wholeness of each. Hey, my kitties are fighting. Wholeness of each is the reality, and forever and always, and also just as divine union is the reality forever and always. And so as we allow this to come into grounding, alignment, justice, joy here on earth, we don't have to is too strong of language. We simply set down. Oh, guys, stop it. Stop. I need to feed the cats. We simply set down. I said in a video a couple of weeks ago, or it feels like a minute ago, things are moving so quantumly right now. And always, maybe, but we're aware of it more now. And we're allowing it to happen on Earth. We are it happening on Earth. Okay, so I said a couple of weeks or days ago that the whole idea of, we have to release the idea of runner and chaser, because it's like, what I said was, just as we talk now about the divine masculine energy, the divine feminine energy, the divine union energy, all that is within each of us. That's all within each of us. So too is the runner-chaser energy. And we have to really release. I can't read anymore or listen to anymore anything that asserts or alludes or presumes that like there's some idea that the divine feminine is ahead or has ever been ahead, or anyone's been ahead or behind anyone else. Like, the more you come into this allowing yourself this wholeness, almost like when you've had numbed areas and then the blood is returning to them, allowing yourself the knowledge of your own wholeness allows you to allow yourself the knowledge of each other person's wholeness. And also as you speak to each other more about what the journey's been, what your journey's been, what their journey's been, for everyone, absolutely everyone. I talk about this with my students. But especially with your beloved, like, you understand more and more. You just simply do release judgment more and more. And you have to release self-critique, and that allows you to release the criticism of anyone else as well. We are all angelic, and we are all doing this together. Okay. Now I have to take my kids to school, but I'm gonna, I'll be back later in the day to pull some cards. Okay, and then I'm pulling cards as we are entwining as the third energy. I'm pulling cards for as we are entwined as the third energy, and the stories of that, because we are, as humans, we live in and we like and we live as stories, but to do so very tenderly and gently so that it might not become corrupted or constrictive or requiring any falsehood or self-betrayal on the part of anyone, or betrayal toward anyone, so that, there's not really language for it, perhaps, or at least I'm not coming up with it in this moment, but just that the stories are like these sweet containers which help us to experience ourselves and another and others. Yeah, to know life, to be in life, to inhabit life here on earth. So it's very beautiful and very gentle. And I'm going to read some cards for some potentialities and realities of stories as they are happening now, as this collective awakening of divine union, and very much this particular and specific and sweetly, tenderly, gentlest precision and discernment within a sacred relationship between two. Okay, my lovey lovelies, so it's Vera and more of the day has passed and I'm going to read cards now. So as we go toward, this moment we're in right now, waning toward the new moon. I'll just say that, waning toward the new moon in Libra, and sort of toward 2020 also. So this will be Saturn down here. Some narratives of Saturn playing out in our lives as the moons go and the seas. I think I'll say this is the masculine today, feminine, and it's Jupiter. So as Saturn helps us to ground and structure joy, obviously not in any kind of constrictive way though. And then, except for, I feel like all the old language is falling away too. Anyway, so Saturn helping us to bring into reality our dreams. The moons. Jupiter expanding us. A little feminine, a little masculine, a little in between. Okay, that's what I'm going to read cards for. And I'm just going to, pardon me because my setup is a little funny right now, but I'm working on it. I have a dear person sending me a mic. And my daughter is fixing, or has fixed, but I'm not using it right now, the stand for my phone. Because I just feel like doing this right here on the bed. Yeah, and that's probably enough of me talking, and I will do some cards. So, this one is flipping out. It is the 5 of Pentacles. So, generally this is feeling kind of left, kind of abandoned or destitute, maybe emotionally, right? Maybe emotionally feeling destitute or lost. Wishing to come in for shelter, perhaps in the arms of another, and also the shelter of having that other in your arms. Okay. And Saturn is helping us move that into being, very gently. It can be gently. At the bottom of the deck right now we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is new for everyone. Don't feel like you have to. That's the thing. We have to release knowing what we're doing. Okay. Renew our ways of knowing ourselves. Expand them. Let's get a one for Jupiter, like how we're expanding. So Jupiter's in Sag until, from last November, I think, till this December. Not sure, I would have to check the exact dates, but anyway. Jupiter's doing its work. Oh, how nice. Look, and it even goes with the scarf I had for Jupiter. So it really is grounding this miracle of curiosity and delight in each other. Curiosity about and delight in each other. Okay. Maybe I have more room than I need, but that's okay. We can allow for a spaciousness as all this comes into being, you know. Oh, Five of Cups showed up again when I split the deck. So, but this Five of Cups, I got this fairly recently in one of these collective energy readings. And note that, like, this has already happened. And here she is between these two cups. This is almost, this could be like the energy between them. Masculine and feminine are the two counterparts, you know. She is that, someone who wrote her letters of love. So that action of speaking and making, it's like the movement and the release, the movement and the release. Something about that, so that we can trust in the pace and in sort of falling into stride beside each other. That makes sense. Okay. I know my setup is not exactly perfect right now, but also remember, okay, I'm putting up my I just put up my second. I'm doing something called Venus Day Visions with Vera on Instagram, and I just put, the first one I did was 2 weeks ago for Fridays, but I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was release self-critique. I think I'm remembering that right, that was a Venus Day Vision. Anyway, release self-critique, you know, and I find myself still naturally, like I just did right now on camera, engaging in a little self-criticism. I have to say it doesn't feel as heavy either to do it or to be like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that because I'm supposed to be releasing self-critique. It just feels like something that's naturally falling away. It's falling away. Its power is in decline as we wane toward the justice, the joyous rightness that belongs to us as we move to the portal of this. Oh, wow. Virgo new moon. Ah, yeah. We like this. We like this. Ace of Cups. Yeah. Look, and then between the two of these, we get the 6. So we have the 5 plus the 1. And then we get the 6, and it's so much fun. It's so lovely. And it's so homely, you know? It's just the absolute joy of ordinary days. And the tenderness of them as we proceed in them. Okay, and what do the ancestors have? In what way are the ancestors supporting us? In grounding this new time. Okay, so I have creativity, patience, and I'm not sure what this one is. So I'm gonna actually pause the camera for a moment. It won't matter to you, but okay, so Saturn is helping the ancestors as part of Saturn, you know, sort of tradition in a way. But like not a heavy tradition, a supportive tradition or inheritance of creativity, patience, and I'm going to check the book, and beauty. So we bring ourselves in to the 6 of Pentacles of reciprocity by adding these together. Like our old, you know, being kind of used to being out in the cold or depressed or feeling abandoned or just kind of desolate, you know, and then trying anew, crowned in our own, crowned, and I want to say grounded, like at our core, in our guts, in our, you know, in our courage and our curiosity and our sweet tenderness and our desire to connect, and we're supported in making space and housing this in the ceremony of our lives. And we're supported by the ancestors with our creativity and our patience with ourselves and each other, and then the beauty, all the beauty of our embodiment, of our homes, of our creations, of all the care and lovely things, you know, lovely and practical and useful and inspiring things that we as humans have made, and to like allow for that pace that I was talking about of falling into the rhythm with each other. You know, and it may, you know, maybe there's a few awkward moments, but that's okay, because it can be awkward to get used to joy. And we're expanding so that it's not something we long for, it's something we inhabit. It's not something we're missing anymore. As you know, again, as I talked about this morning, wholeness is the reality. We're coming into, you know, we might call it ascension, we might call it dreams come true, we might call it heaven as a place on earth, but it's an opening and falling into alignment with the truth of the universe, which is love and joy. That's what moves us. That's what animates all. Okay. But yeah, so these things, you know, this is what is helping us now and into 2020. This is what's happening you know, even as soon as the Libra new moon. And this is, you know, through Jupiter and Sagittarius, you know, and it may not have at every moment as we've moved from last November through to this December, it may not at every moment have felt like, oh yeah, we're just moving into this like joyous new time. No, it may have felt like, oh shit, I lost this opportunity, or it's never going to happen, or, you know, back to this. You know, there have been all kinds of things that have happened along the path, but yeah, I don't know what else, but nothing, but just to acknowledge that. And I'm going to draw another card for where we're expanding with Jupiter and Sag through till this November. Oh, so transformation, which, you know, at times and in, you know, the unfolding of it can feel scary and lonely and desolate at times. Moving really, you know, just literally transfiguring ourselves and our lives. But it is this coming into wholeness, or this recognition, this coming into creating a society in which we are all held in love and joy. And this occurs in concert with many, you know, sacred connections coming to be able to be enjoyed on earth now. Okay, I'm going to pull one for the masculine. So the world supports, the times support, the times support this transfiguration and this joy. And for the feminine, as does your clarity and your happy curiosity and valor.